Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. We are going to get the sprinkler started this morning because we have some food over on the other side of the barn in that garden that desperately needs water. It has been a little dry here, so we're going to hit that water right now. Let me see, Livy. Whoa!
They're moving. Mama, they're
This is cheese that I am making, and if you guys have not seen my video on how to make cheese, it is very easy. I have never been able to make cheese until I found this recipe, and it has been absolutely wonderful. I don't like crumbly cheese, and a lot of the recipes that I called for was not making a smooth cheese, at least not consistently. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful recipe for us. We even make cheese sticks and batter them, and yes, they are fantastic. So guys, be sure to check that video out if you're interested in learning how to make homemade cheese. This is the recipe you want to stick with. I have in my hands, and I'm spilling water everywhere, but the last of our sweet potato slips. These are going in the ground right now. I actually have more sweet potato slips inside that are on the potatoes, but I just cannot deal with any more. I actually don't have any more room for these right now. There is one more bed now that my plum tree limb is out of the raised bed that is right there beside it. I'm going to go put these slips down in that bed. It is not too late for us here in South Mississippi because our growing season is so long. So I'm going to get these slips over in this bed that is not being used right now. I don't like for soil to sit if at all possible. When something comes out, something goes in. If that's not the case, we cover it, cover the soil. So I'm doing that right now. Then I have to go pick blueberries and plums and squash today. So a lot, really just a lot going on here today. This is the bed I'm talking about, y'all. So all of these limbs were so heavy right here that these limbs were actually down in my bed because of the weight of the plums. And I'm about to get the last plums off here in just a minute. But you know, really, it is so much hustle and it's so much bustle. Y'all, it is a lot of hard work to grow the variety of foods at the extent that we grow because we're such a large family. So many of you may be asking, well, why do you do it? If it's such hard work, why don't you just go to the grocery store? Most of you are aware of our food crisis that we have going on. We have a broken food system where there's so many chemicals, so much junk in our food that it is literally killing us. We all can look around and say either we've been affected by health issues, specifically the C word, and I'm not talking about COVID, I'm talking about the other C word, that either we have dealt with or we have really close family and friends that have dealt with that and have had to go through a series of treatments. And sadly enough, the treatments for that is nothing more than poison. So it's really just messed up. It's all messed up. So that's why we do the hustle and bustle of keeping our beds full of food for ourselves, our family. We come in and we harvest, we get those things taken up to feed us not only fresh, but for seasons long. That is why we bust our tails. That is why we work so hard. It's not always fun. It's not always hunky and dory, that is for sure. But we do it because we know there's a broken system. We know that if we go out to the grocery store and we're constantly dependent on the big farmers to feed us, they even use chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, unless you buy all organic. And there's still loopholes there. It's better than not, that is for sure. Or fast food, which is a big no in our family. Even if we do decide to go out and eat, it is a restaurant that actually cooks the food, takes the food and actually cooks the food. It's not fast food. So that is kind of where we're at. That's why we do make my own cheese. I make my own butter. We milk our own cow. We grow all of our own fruits and vegetables, at least for the majority of it. If we do have to buy, we try to either find something local that tries to grow similar to we do, or we buy organic. But 80 to probably 90% of our food comes right off our farm. We are meat sustainable here, with raising our own steer out, with raising our own meat birds, as well as lamb and our pork as well. So those are the meats that we have here. If we decide to go get fish, we have a pond on the other side of the property. We don't eat a whole lot of fish. Bass is what is in our pond, and some little different perch and stuff, and we don't eat fish a whole lot. But we would much rather catch our fish definitely than buy our fish for sure. So much of our fruits and vegetables that come right here off the farm, and as I'd mentioned, we're not only eating those things fresh in season, but we are preparing them in a way that is going to preserve them to last us until the next season. Now, I will say so far this season, on our fruits and our squash, for sure that we have harvested. Our cucumbers are starting to come in. Our okra is starting to come in. Our corn will be next, then our peas and beans. So far, we have been beyond blessed. It has been a wonderful growing season. I've had to battle a couple of bugs, not as bad as last year and the couple of years before that. I've really learned some things with companion planting. I've done some old videos on that, so if y'all want to know more about that, go check that out. I've had numerous people message me and ask me about hornworms this year. I actually have not seen hornworms around here in a while. I plant marigolds and basil with every tomato plant that I plant, and I have not had to deal with hornworms. That if you do have to deal with hornworms, think of things like black lights. You can take a black light out at night. It makes those things grow up. But I highly suggest companion planting. The only thing that I have not personally found to work here on our homestead is dealing with vine borers. I planted all kinds of stuff with my squash this year, and it did not seem to work. So what I went back and did is kept an eye on my squash to get those worms out early enough to where they don't do major damage to my squash, and have really kept DE coated around the base of my squash, and that has really seemed to help more or less than companion planting when we're dealing with the vine borers. Now this spot that I'm in right now, you can see I'm actually in the shade. It doesn't get a whole lot of sun, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do, because I really already have enough sweet potatoes planted for probably my whole family for the next year. This area right here is more or less going to be, and I just found a nice little worm, which that's a good sign of some healthy soil. This area right here is more or less going to be for leaves. Not only for us, because sweet potato leaves are very, very healthy for you, but also for our animals. Y'all know that Lamb is just right around the corner up there, and I make a habit of coming out and picking some things for her so that she kind of stays used to us. And these are a wonderful way to come out and just grab her a snack and walk it out to her. This is actually a wonderful option. So not only for us, but for her as well. Our chickens, pigs, every animal actually that you could think of on the farm could eat the sweet potato leaves as well. So sometimes not only do I plant just for ourselves, I plant for other purposes, and this happens to be one of those because I have my beautiful sweet potatoes that we're going to be digging up actually over in several other beds, but this will be a wonderful option just to come out here and get some of the leaves off, like I mentioned, not only for ourselves but for the animals too, because that's just sometimes what we do. And guys, I hope that if you're not already planting something, I hope that you will consider raised beds, which is what I'm planning in right now. I hope that you will think about container gardening. When you get good soil, it really does not matter what you plant in, just as long as your soil is good. That's really the main thing that matters, because the soil is what is actually feeding your plants. Now, we don't use Miracle Grow here. We don't use synthetic chemicals. All of our beds that we plant in are fed with our chicken manure, our rabbit manure. Now, y'all, please do not mix in chicken manure that has not been aged out down into your roots, because I can assure you that you will very quickly kill your plant with hot manure. But rabbit manure, goat manure, things like that are considered cold, and you can actually feed your plants and give them all the nutrients that they need without buying store-bought chemicals. If you don't have animals, there are natural, organic ways that you can still feed your plants. There are things available in the store like blood meal, bone meal, fish meal. Those are organic ways to feed your soil. As long as you have good soil and you're feeding your plants with healthy things that will allow them to grow, you really can grow in anything. So guys, I hope that if you're not planting, I hope that you will start to plant. It is so rewarding. I've had so many people just message me and say, I absolutely love growing this, or I have started gardening because I've watched y'all, and it is so rewarding. So guys, I really challenge you, if you're not already growing some of your food, to jump in and try to do it. It is very rewarding, and once you get a little bite of what real food actually tastes like, it will change your life in so many ways. You will not want the store-bought stuff anymore, because you will have tasted what real food tastes like, and that is a good thing. Y'all saw the couple raspberries on my raspberry plant. I took them up to the pool where the kids are at, and they literally fight over them. Well, I have some blackberries over here I'm about to pick. Livy absolutely loves them. They are delicious. I am going to get these picked and get these taken up to her. This is the bush that you saw me take cuttings from, and I've spread it out back here in our food forest, which needs a lot of attention. But needless to say, this thing it puts off the biggest and best blackberries. This was a bush that I went to a master gardener's home. She wanted the bush out of her flower bed. She didn't even know how it got there, but she didn't want to have to deal with it. So I cut it back, dug it up, brought it to my house, transplanted it, and it has put off the prettiest blackberries. So I am out here picking. Livy loves to just wash them and eat them. So I'm getting her a snack now, filling up this bowl. As it grows, of course, you know, it will put off more and more. Right now, we are just getting a bowl full or so at a time, which is plenty enough for us to eat on fresh. But it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to put something in the ground and it yield such pretty fruit for you to come out, get and pick and enjoy. To me, there's nothing more beautiful than that. It really is a joy to be able to come out and pick the food from right off the farm, take it inside and eat it. It is really a beautiful thing. Y'all, I'm done for today. I wanted to show y'all this, pretty cool. Found a random tomato out where I'm at in the food forest. To be completely honest with you, I have no idea where it come from. I do know we had one wild tomato growing somewhere back here, but I have not seen any fruits on it. And I have one wild that was growing up in the pineapple that I just showed y'all, but I haven't seen any fruits on it either. So I thought that was really hilarious that I found a little tomato just right down here on the ground. And you know, that's really the beauty of doing what we do. Come out, gathering your food. And you know, it's not only for the season like we were telling y'all. We want to grow enough to last us to the next season too. It's so important. But if you're not doing something, I challenge you to grow something. You guys can do it. Even if it's just one step in the direction away from this broken food system that we have in America, where we allow our people of America to eat chemical dyes, poisons, all of these foods, many of which you guys already know are banned from other countries, and we allow them here. They're killing us, they're making us sick. Y'all, take the steps in the right directions. Try to get away from those. Get better food. Healthy food is what your body needs to stay healthy. And if we're not giving our bodies healthy foods, then we can't expect to stay healthy either. And as you guys can see, I still have a lot of picking to do. From the blueberries to the plums to the squash, and the cucumbers have been added in on this journey in the season of the summer. So I am going to put you guys down. I'm gonna get busy. I hope that you guys will get busy too, taking small steps, getting raised beds, getting planters, and getting some things in that will feed your family. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.